to, I'm sorry, but we
Oh,
have
I'm sorry.
oh no, that's okay. We set
Okay.
this time up to allow us to go through some of the information surrounding the spring conference coming up for your students. And we just have a little bit of an agenda here. We'll go through a welcome and some introductions and an overview of the conference, some important information regarding code of conduct, disciplinary process, visitors, quiet hours, check-in, check-out, what to pack, a schedule of what we're going to be doing, roommates, meals, chaperones, medications, and then we'll have some time for some Q&A. So you should have received a copy of the handbook as we sent it in the email along with some invites and some reminders for tonight's event. So we'll go ahead and get started and say, Poso manuyak, mashik nech mamache tawak, mashik nech Matamosak, Kmewanuki Natakam, Palarabdi Mokamon and Aswasian, Makana Natota, Mashiko Mananatom. Hello, everyone, my fellow Indigenous relatives and my fellow life givers. I'm Rain Woman. My English name is Paula Fernandez Rabidou, and I'm Turtle Clan from the Menominee Nation, and I am the Tribal Sites Manager for the Tribal ITA. I'll pass it over to my colleagues to introduce themselves, and we'll start with, I'll just go on the top and over here. So happy.
Kolomosi. Kolomosi, my name is So Happy Davids, for those that do not know me. But I do like to go by Happy. Also, so you might see some emails with that. I am the Student Success Outreach Specialist for the Oneida cohort, and it's really good to see everybody, and I'm so excited for spring conference.
Thank you, and we'll move on to Julie.
Hi, I'm Julie Hagstrom. I'm the Student Success Outreach Specialist in the Lac du Flambeau cohort. And given that we haven't been in spring conference for 5 years, we are all very, very excited to take your students down there and have a good time.
Thank you. That's right. This is like a reunion of coming back of the spring conference. Then we'll move over to one of our instructors, Nino.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ninoska. I am our Tribal Sites Technology Education Lead. I primarily work with our sophomores and our seniors.
And our other instructor, Mary Kay.
Bonjour, Indigenous Mary Kay, Nododem Makwa. I am from the Lac-Vieux Desert tribe, and my name's, everybody calls me Mary Kay, and I am a Bear Clan. I'm very excited to be part of this, and yes, I do the academics with all of your students, your children. So if you have any questions, just let us know.
Wonderful. So I'll get us started by giving us a brief overview of what Spring Conference is meant to be for our students. So Spring Conference is an educational conference. So that means that our goal is for our students to learn something in the days that they are with us. And really, we are looking at them learning more about UW-Madison and the Madison community as a whole. We will be taking some field trips inside of UW, but also off campus, so students can learn a little bit more about the Madison community. They will be visiting individual schools and related facilities located on or near UW-Madison. They will explore the various ways in which UW-Madison is involved with the advancement of technology locally and beyond. And they should be able to explore the history of UW-Madison as it relates to the diverse communities, especially the tribal communities of Wisconsin. So there will be a lot of opportunities for students to learn in the 3 days that they are with us. But with that comes a set of rules that we have put in place that are very much the same ones that your students are used to whenever they're with us for a cohort weekend, and these are done for their own safety and to make sure they have a good time. Some of the ones that you should really be paying attention is they should be on time for every activity. They should be prepared with materials to bring. They should be respecting themselves, their peers, and everybody involved. Also, importantly, respecting the university property and property of others. There will be no bullying of any kind tolerated in this. And just like any other of our cohort weekends, there will be no tolerance of any kind of smoking, tobacco, vaping products, or any other controlled substances. This is a list that you got in your handbook. So these are just some other ones, right? Like not bringing, distributing, or using any drugs. If they were to break the rules, there's disciplinary consequences that they have to adhere by. And they really should be following all of the rules that have been put in place by the Office of Youth Protection, which are the same rules we follow to ensure your student safety.
And I just want to share with you a little bit of, should we break any of these rules, we just want to make sure that we recognize that there's a disciplinary process in place. You know, going away with this many students for this amount of time, we just need to ensure that everybody is safe and everybody is following the rules. You know, we're in a different place. We're not in our learning locations that we typically are. And so we just want to make sure that everyone is aware that we really have to follow these rules to ensure safety. And if rules are broken, unfortunately, there's going to be a disciplinary process. And some disciplinary actions that include but not limited to the following: a warning, an early curfew, exclusion from field trips, mini trips, and special events, exclusion from campus privileges, like the evening activities that we have planned or free time activities that we have planned, a conference call with parent or guardian, a conference with assistant director or executive director, possibly even early dismissal from the senior residential experience, and termination from ITA. I think that's supposed to be spring conference experience. And so we just want to make sure that we recognize there may be a disciplinary process if we end up not following along with the code of conduct and those rules. And so those are just some of the processes. There are many different things that we need to be careful of. And so one of them is also gas policy and visitors. So we just want you to be aware that spring conference is a wonderful opportunity for students to experience the University of Wisconsin-Madison as a prospective student. So a lot has been planned for your students. We've been thinking about this and trying to make this a really wonderful experience for everyone. And these include academic as well as experiential and leisure fun activities. So we wouldn't want anything to sort of, you know, alter their time on the trip. So with so much planned, there won't be time for visiting on the trip. So visitors will not be permitted to attend any part of the conference. Your students are here as a part of the cohort, and just as we on weekends, you know, try to keep them together, visitors will not be allowed, as well as not allowed at the Fluno Center, where we have our accommodations for that time. So just keep that in mind, that we're really got a packed schedule. We also want to keep in mind that there will be a lights out and quiet hours, and we need to follow that strictly. Lights out will be promptly at 11 o'clock. And after that time, students will not be allowed to leave their assigned rooms, and the doors will be monitored. Now, I also want students to recognize that they're going to be exhausted. We have really busy time. And in the past, they said students were like zonked out because we're also up early, having breakfast, and going again the next day. So it's going to be pretty busy, and you'll be tired. So we need to make sure that people get their rest so we can continue to have a really good time the next day.
I think that must be me. So when your students arrive at the bus, we will need to have parents or somebody that's designated in writing by the parent sign that student in. And then when we return back to your communities, then whoever is picking up that student, again, a parent, guardian, or somebody designated by that parent or guardian in writing, pick up the student. Again, we have a very, very tight schedule. So we're encouraging everybody to get there on time so that this process moves very quickly. Also, any medication forms.
All right, well, items that you might want to be bringing, or when you're thinking of packing, definitely your ITA computer and a charger. You'll want to bring your cell phone if you have one, a charger for that also. Changes of clothes for 4 days, keeping in mind the ever-changing weather in Wisconsin. Definitely comfortable walking shoes, sleepwear, cold weather clothing, just kind of check the weather. You may need a raincoat, an umbrella, because we are going to be doing some walking also. Necessary toiletries and any medications that you would be needing. Extra money for souvenirs and our additional snacks. We will be taking some walks on State Street, things like that. So definitely want to bring extra money. And then any extra snacks, easily transportable type snacks that fit into a bag, your backpack, those kind of things.
So we'll be chartering a bus down to Madison from both tribal sites. Oneida cohort is meeting at Norbert Hill Center and their bus is leaving at 7:30. And then in Lac du Flambeau, we have 2 pickup areas. We'll be leaving the tribal administration building right in the middle of downtown at 6:15 in the morning in Lac du Flambeau. Then we'll be driving to Lita's, which is near Walmart in Minocqua, picking up food there, and then getting on the bus for those students that live closer to that area. And we'll be departing there at 6:45. And again, it's very tight. We get to Madison, we drop off our luggage, and off we go to our activities.
So I'll tell you a little bit about what your students are going to be doing in the time when they are with us. So when they arrive to campus on Friday, we are expecting that they will be ready to go by 10:30, and they will be bussed out to different activities. Our seniors will be taking the cultural landscape tour around UW-Madison, so they will be walking. Our juniors will be visiting Raven Software, which is who produces Warzone for Call of Duty. So they make like all the graphics in the game. And our sophomores will be, our sophomores are doing the walking tour. Our seniors are going to a virtual reality on campus. They will then eat lunch and they are all gonna go together and have a tour of Epic. Epic does medical software. They are located right here in Verona, so they will get a chance to meet with some past ITA alum who now works there. They will get to explore the space. At 4:30, they will be doing cohort development. They will be eating their dinner at 6. We will be having a movie night that night. They will have some free time, and then their lights out are promptly at 11. Their Saturday is going to be a really busy day, so they will be having breakfast by 7:30. They will be attending an ITA Saturday session. So our Madison cohort goes to Saturday sessions every other Saturday. So we have planned a special session for our tribal students to join them. So they will be meeting their counterparts in their Madison cohort. After they're done with Saturday session, they would have cohort development. They will be eating dinner at 7. They would have some free time at around 8:30, and their lights out will be promptly at 11. Their Sunday gets a later start. They will be eating breakfast and packing by 8. We will be doing a senior send-off by 10:30. At around 11:30, they will be walking around campus and State Street. At 2 p.m., we will be doing our closing. At our 2:30, our students will be getting on the bus with lunch back to their respective sites.
And then the return trip, students will be arriving at Norbert Hill by 5. And then in Flambeau, it's reversed. We'll be returning to Minocqua at 6:30, same place. It's a very large parking lot. And 6:45 in Lac du Flambeau at the tribal admin building. And then again, you'll have to sign your student out.
Mine's about roommates. The roommates that your students will be assigned by gender and grade level and any instructor recommendations that we might have put in there. We're going to encourage them to eat meals, especially breakfast, with their roommate. Their roommate will be from the other site. So if you have an Oneida student, they'll probably have a Lac du Flambeau roommate, and it'll be good for them to get to know each other. Also, with the roommates and with the rooms, each of us that are staying there will have a group of students that we're going to be like under our wing, and we're gonna take care, make sure we check in with them, make sure that they know who to come to for everything that they might need. And we're going to have, I think it's called floor meetings, and we're going to make sure that they're comfortable, they're okay with what's, where they are, what they're doing the next day, that kind of stuff. So each of us will have a small group, then we'll give them their cell phone. Everything will be clearly communicated for them. They will not know who their roommate is until the day of arrival, because we have some juggling around and some kids that can't make it or all of a sudden can make it. So roommates will be communicated the day of arrival and after one of our tours or so, because we're just going to hit the ground running after that. So parents, you will also be receiving like a communication card I'm going to make, and that'll have like our names and our cell phones, and it'll have information in case you need to reach somebody and your child isn't getting back to you or whatever. We can also be reached and help you out with anything that you might need. So the roommates, I think, are going to be super fun. I think they're all going to be matched up together, and they're going to have a lot of fun.
So for food, each of the students will have a hot breakfast for the bus ride on the way down. Everybody's going to be getting up very early, so our breakfast will be on the bus. And then ITA provides 3 meals a day during the day, that first day on the bus, obviously. Some of them will be at the Fluent Center. Some of them, if we're going to be on a bus going to a field trip, we'll have a baked lunch that we'll be eating on the bus. And then students are encouraged to bring along snacks or money to purchase snacks. There's convenience stores nearby, so that they can have what they want in their rooms.
Chaperones and staffing. So the Student Success Outreach Specialists, which are Julie and myself, we will be chaperoning to and from the conference. So we'll be on the bus with your students when we're checking them in and checking them out. Then while on campus, there will be upwards of 10 staff members involved in each day's activities. So we have student instructors, our tribal instructors, tribal site manager, and then on Saturday, the students will get to meet and have an opportunity to get to know a lot of the Madison staff also. We have our contact numbers for the chaperones. If you do not have these in your phone, please, put these in your phone. Julie's, myself, and Kamewa Nuki's the phone numbers, and you can text or call us. If you have any messages that need to be sent through or things like that, I just ask if you can be respectful of the 11 o'clock lights out unless it's an emergency.
Medications. Because it is only a 2-night overnight, the law states that the students are able to administer their own medication to themselves. So if they need to bring their medication for evening or morning or whatever, please have them bring it with them, and they'll leave it in their room. I can do reminders. We can all do reminders if we need to for some of them, but they're not allowed to share or distribute their medication to other students. And an example that we've been talking about is if your student has a headache or something like that, we cannot provide ibuprofen or Tylenol to them. We can take them to Walgreens or to a store to pick it up if they didn't bring some with them. But they're not allowed to share the Tylenol between each other, and we're not allowed to give that to them, but we will certainly escort them to a place to get what they need. If you have questions with that or anything, you can let any of us know, and we can be alert of that for whomever is the staff assigned to your child.
Before we begin with questions, I just want to share that all of this information is in the handbook that you have. We have pulled out some of the most, pertinent and information for you. However, like the disciplinary procedures and infractions, that's quite a lot more lengthy in your document. We didn't want to put everything in this sharing because you have that in your hands, but also to keep in mind that those of us here on screen are the overnight chaperones. We will be in the dorms, in the Fluno Center staying as well, monitoring the students and the student doors and making sure everybody's safe. And so that's why, we have so much to do, and we want to keep everyone safe, and we want everyone to have fun. So that's why we wanted to make sure we provided this orientation to reiterate some of that information in the handbook, but also to offer a time for question answer and to let you all see who is going to be with your students 24/7 for those 3 days. And we also want to sleep too. So we hope that you're going to be very tired from all of the walking, running, and having fun. So we'll open it up at this time for any questions you might have, or if any of the other staff have any other things they want to add.
Okay, so I have the first question.
Yes,
Okay.
Dominic.
So I have a very bad case of like heartburn. Do I need to bring my own thing of like Tums, or is it possible for you guys to bring some?
Great question, Dominic. No, you'll need to bring your own
Okay,
Tums with you.
okay, thank you.
So this is Dawn Delliver for Autumn Delliver. So my understanding that if Autumn needed for headaches or migraines, I could send her with Tylenol or ibuprofen. She just has to keep it to herself.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
And to assure you parents that when we have our groups, because I think there's 6 of us that we're dividing the students up in, we'll talk about that in our small group as well, so that everybody feels that, that we're there to help them. And Lord knows we know about headaches and stuff like that, we'll be okay.
So there's no opportunity for these kids to get out after 11 p.m. or to be out after 11. Correct.
Nope, the doors will be closed at 11 for everyone. Everybody will be in their own rooms. Students aren't allowed to go into each other's rooms, and the lights will be out, and we'll monitor the doors.
So they're all in a single room, or are they doubled up in a room?
There are most of them, I believe almost all of them have roommates because of the numbers.
Okay.
Unfortunately, if somebody should drop and somebody's roommate is no longer going to join us, then they may be in a room by themselves. But we won't know that for sure all the way up until we go, that we know all the numbers and everybody's roommates for sure. But we want everyone to have a roommate so that they have a buddy that they'll be able to get to know and spend time with. But other than that, nobody else should be in each other's rooms, and there's cameras everywhere, and we just want to make sure everyone's safe.
Are they in the same hall they were in last time?
They're in the Fluno Center, so I'm not exactly sure where they were last
I
time.
think they were in Smith Hall. I wasn't sure.
They're not. So the Fluno, it's a little bit different, but pretty similar to how the Job is. So there's different floors. We're all staying in floors with them. So almost think of it like a convention center with a hotel in it.
Okay,
And then we'll be staying, our rooms will be adjacent to our students that we're group leaders for. So we will be right next door to them or bookend on either side.
Okay.
And I talked to the lady, Kamiwanuki had given me her name. She assured me that the night staff will be checking the cameras, make sure everybody's okay and everybody's safe and checking that hallway.
okay. Now, I know that this might be off the topic, but you guys just sent out, I think it was So Happy sent out an email reference to the math AccuPlacer. Is that eligible for being taken while they're there these 2 days? Or is that at a later date?
So our students who have been admitted to UW-Madison and are accepting their admittance to UW-Madison will be participating on a UW People Program Signing Day. So it's almost like what athletes do to commit to a college. They will get to experience that. So they will do that on Saturday morning. And the People Program has offered to cover the cost of their math placement tests. So that will be happening in the afternoon.
Okay, so that will happen while they're there if they wanted to.
Yes, if they want to take the placement test, and
Yeah.
we'll encourage them to, because people
Yeah.
will already be covering the fee for the test.
Okay.
They should be taking it right away.
Okay, that's great, great. Okay. Think you guys covered it all.
I was wondering about students' personal cell phone usage. Like, will they get to keep their phones on them at all times, or how that's gonna work?
They do, they will have their phones on them the whole time. We just ask that it's kind of like when they are at cohort weekends. Their phones should be away, whether in their backpacks. It should not be interfering with the activities they're doing, but they will have access to their phones.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Are your students excited?
Extremely.
It's exactly 1 day before my birthday is when it ends, so it's gonna be a heck of a birthday beginning, I guess.
I think we're so excited too. We just wanted to be like now, but yeah, we're excited for this too.
Yep, I think we have another birthday occurring that weekend also, so we might have to do some singing and cupcakes, something like that, but definitely some celebrating.
So everybody's received the handbook and they've been able to see it and look at it.
No, as a matter of fact, you said that you guys mailed this out. I have a belief that mine must have gotten lost in the mail, and it would not be the first time because I did not receive any of this information.
Email.
You sent it through the email?
Yes,
Okay,
it was
then
emailed.
I'll have to look.
Dawn, I can resend it to you if you need it.
That would be great.
Yep.
And I saw Dominic did a thumbs up. Megan, you and Seth received it through email? Yep. Okay, good.
So it's confirmed that the bus leaves exactly at 7:30 sharp from Norbert Hill for Oneida.
Mhm. Yep, so if you can get there
About
quarter
7:15.
Yep, yeah, 7:15 would be great, because then
Okay.
you'll be bringing the medication form, or there will
Yep.
be a form for you to be filling out. and then just signing, checking Autumn in. And then I would like to, or we want to leave promptly at 7:30 because it's gonna be a tight schedule so that we can get to Madison, drop our stuff off, and then get to our first event that we need to be attending.
So with that in mind, the students who are in need of medication at certain times, reminder that as we drop the luggage off, we won't be coming back to that site until 4, 5 or something like that. So those students that need medication in between that time will have to remember to bring that with them.
Also, if anybody needs to refrigerate medication, the rooms will have refrigerators in them. And I'm reconsidering letting the kids know who's their group leader because we might have to take care of a few of those odds and ends before we head out. But we're gonna go with what we have, and but if something needs to be refrigerated, we do have that capability.
We will be also having snacks, available like we do when we have our cohort weekends. There will be some snacks available at certain places, but just not like, maybe not exactly some of the things the kids might want to buy on State Street or have in their rooms after lights out or anything like that. Probably more a little bit healthier and have options like that. But so we will have some things available in different places at different times.
All I ask is that you make sure she comes back because she's so excited, she doesn't want to come back. She just wants to start.
Wonderful. Are there any other questions from any of the other parents or students? I don't see any hands raised. I don't see any chats. Well, then we must have done a good job. I don't know if anybody else has anything to add of our staff. If not, I guess then we can finish for this evening a lot earlier than we thought we would. Appreciate you coming, appreciate you entrusting your students to us and having them be a part of our program. Looking forward to a really good time and for them to get to experience where they may possibly matriculate to in the future.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
You
guys
all-
for being so thorough.
Yeah, wonderful. You guys have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, warm, and hopefully your power comes back if for those of us.
Yeah.
with-
That would be nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya.